action up in double time. James analyzing every line. Paul's out of sync, but they don't care. Three minds tangled, but they're always there.
Hello and welcome to Seismic Cinema. I'm James. I've plotted an essay on it. Paul has usually watched it in wrong order, and Colin.
I've usually not seen it.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Had a bit of sore head this morning, but it's gradually going away, so happy days.
Good stuff.
Excellent. So this week we are reviewing. It's kind of a wee side series we've got on the go. And past listeners and viewers will know that we started the Black Mirror Season 7, Episode 1. We're going to continue that, and we're now on to Episode 2, which is called Bête Noire. And I'll go into that in a wee minute. Before we delve into that, we shout out to where we can find us. So you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Facebook, both the main page and community page. We do need to get a grip on that, man, because I feel like it's just not taking off the same way as Twitter is. So I'm going to set myself a challenge. I'm going to try and get into that while we're off. And try and generate more interest on it.
Good stuff.
I don't know why it's not picking up, man, but it's just, I don't know. The Facebooks are dying out now.
Yeah, although What's the Script do a good job with it.
Aye, they do, to be fair. You can watch and listen to us on YouTube, Spotify for creators, Good Pods, Apple Podcasts, and anybody else that does your podcast and stuff. We're also part of the Podpack Collective, a group of indie podcasters. You can go and check all of them out. They're on Twitter and probably TikTok and all that as well, but you can go and see what they've got to offer. There's some good stuff on there. So you might just find something that you might enjoy. And a wee shout out to What's the Script, a Glaswegian movie podcast. I don't know, they've not done much actually in the last few times. I think because they're on holiday, they've taken a wee break. So you can go and check out the previous episodes. Definitely quite funny and informative as well. Right.
A bit of a laugh.
As a laugh. You've checked it recently, haven't you, as well? Because you were talking about that.
Yeah, I was listening to their American Psycho review, and I'm sure there's another one I put on as well. But I'll be certainly checking them out when they start coming back out.
The American Psycho review, it wasn't as good as ours.
That's a lie.
Just joking, guys. Right, so actually, I've done this before, but our previous episodes, we done The Truman Show. That was the last episode we done. Film The Truman Show. We also, of course, we did review Black Mirror Common People. Before that, we reviewed The Accountant and can't remember what else now.
We did Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs, of course it was. But you can go and check them out and give them a like and comment on them as well. But good for you to comment on it as well. Just kind of generates more kind of viewers and things as well in the algorithms. So it would be handy for you to do that. Just like and subscribe and all that jazz. Right. Housekeeping's at the way, mate. Well, not really. Well, I've spoken to obviously to the group chats and things, but it's that time of the week to find out what you've been watching. Now I know you're on holiday, so I'm hoping you've got a good repertoire of shows and books and podcasts.
Yeah, so as usual, when I'm off, try and catch a bit more. So I mentioned to you that I bought a book about the history of the Titanic. So I've finished that. I blasted through that. And kind of off the back of that, I ended up watching quite a few documentaries on various streaming services. So I watched one that was actually, I think you'd really like it. It was It was hosted by the director, why have I forgotten his name? That's really embarrassing.
The director's name, is that right?
I've literally just had a mind blank there. Help.
I don't know. Like,
James Cameron.
James Cameron, all right, okay.
One of the documentaries on Disney Plus, it was James Cameron kind of like looking back on the movie after 20 years and looking at like kind of recent discoveries in the wreckage and what would maybe change about the movie if they were to do it again. And he's done like 30 plus dives down to the wreckage, which is some dedication to the craft in it.
I remember when we did the Titanic review, I did kind of read up on all these trivia and things. He did do a lot of the deep dives on it. So, aye.
So you should check out that one. There was also, I started watching one called Case Closed. So there's like 3 on Disney Plus that I was watching. So, and obviously, just to kind of round off my wee binge, I rewatched the Titanic, which just, I think it gets better every time you watch it, to be honest. And you should also check out our review of the Titanic. I'm sure Paul will fire that somewhere into the magic somewhere. Also, I'm hoping to go see the new Jurassic Park film. I don't know if it's Jurassic Park or Jurassic World nowadays. So I was watching Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World, which also we did a Jurassic Park review relatively recently. I watched like the first like hour and a bit, and then when I went back on Now TV, it was gone. So I don't know if they've just removed them, which was really annoying timing because I was just going to binge through them.
All right, I don't know. So, I don't have. Does Now TV work the same way as like Amazon and Netflix and things? It has like certain times to.
Yeah, they obviously remove things as they go along, so I didn't quite get towards the end of that, which was annoying. I like a wee bit of a football fix, so I've been watching a wee bit of Sunderland Till I Die because I've watched a lot of the kind of all or nothing ones like Arsenal and Man City, that kind of thing. I'm going to go see the new Superman tonight in Dunoon. So I actually was encouraged to go, and I've never actually watched it, the original 1978 Superman film.
Oh, it's good, that.
So I watched that a couple of nights ago. And finally, just to round it off, I watched the first episode of 24. So I completed my challenge.
Well, actually, just so the viewers and listeners actually know this, because you did text me in the group chat to say that you couldn't find the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Because that was your original challenge.
Yeah.
And I said, well, scrap that and do the first episode, the pilot, so to speak, on 24. So what did you think of it?
No, I don't think you actually said that. I think you were talking about 24 somewhere in the chat, and I actually went, I might start watching it. Was that not what happened?
No, I was on Twitter. I think I just put on something about you should watch 24, whatever. I can't remember what happened, but who I was talking to. But you said that you were going to start watching 24. I said, well, here's a challenge then. Watch the first episode of 24.
Yeah.
And you did. So what did you think of it?
I was intrigued enough to, I think I'll continue watching. So I'll keep you updated.
Aye.
Don't want to give too much away because we might end up doing a review of some description at some point.
I mean, I'm just jealous because, like, to watch 24 again through the first time viewing it would be amazing to see.
Although when I looked ahead, every season's got 24 episodes apart from the last season. It's got 12.
That's correct, yes. And there's also a film in between season 7 and 8, I think.
Is
or
there?
6, 7. It's called.
Quite a commitment, but I'll watch episode 2 soon, and then I'll see where I go from there.
Good.
So, what have you been watching?
For me, well, I watched Black Mirror, obviously, Bête Noire. Watched that.
So did I, yeah.
I watched Dexter: Original Sin, the full season. So I binged that. So I hadn't seen that before. Obviously, I've seen the original Dexter one. I've seen the New Blood. And I just after watching this, kept kind of put it off. But I actually really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. So any fans of Dexter and you've not seen that, then go and watch it. I watched. My challenge was to watch the first episode of Inside Number 9, which was called Sardines.
Yeah. Quite a claustrophobic episode.
Aye, it was. Like, it's bizarre, right? It was bizarre, but I can get it. I get the similarities between this and Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Quite dark comedy with wee twists and things like that. I actually watched the second episode as well.
Oh, is that the silent movie one?
I can't. Was it the silent movie one?
So not Biggs from Wedge Antilles from Star Wars. Dennis Lawson.
Aye. So that was. I think that was better.
Right. They're not even in my top 10, 15 episodes, by the way. So I think it does not. There's hits and misses because they're so varied in terms of style, but there's some really, really good episodes.
No.
I would encourage you to keep watching if you're intrigued.
Aye, we'll see what happens. I might check out a couple of episodes a week just so I can keep on top of
it.
Yeah. I watched just one episode of this actually. 24 Hours in Police Custody. It was just a kind of these documentary things you get.
Yeah.
I think it was like season 7 or 9. I don't know. I can't remember now. But it's called Body in the Grass. It was just bizarre to see how these people just get, kind of like arrested and stuff like that, and how they try to kind of get their way out it and with their evidence and stuff like that. So it was interesting that way. It was bizarre. I'll say that much. The perpetrator, we'll call him that, was a bit strange. But I just kind of checked it out to a recommendation. So
we both watched something 24 related then.
We did indeed, aye. We did. That's been it, mate. Obviously, Dexter took up a few couple of days. So, I think that's about all been it.
Yep, so Superman tonight. I'm also hoping to get to Jurassic Park next week, and then I'll probably go see Fantastic Four as well. So, I'm going to be quite busy.
Excellent. Look forward to hearing your Superman. On the call.
I said to him I was going. I don't know if he's going to make it yet. I'm going to take some of the kids.
Aye, good. Right, okay then. So let's move on from that. So let's get into it then. So you're here for a review of Bête Noire. It's the second episode of season 7. The title is called Bête Noire, as I said, which the literal kind of translation means Black Beast. And I went into a wee bit more detail on it. So it means someone to be avoided or to be disliked, which I found interesting. It was written by Charlie Brooker, of course. It was directed by Toby Haynes. And let me see, my dog barks in the background.
I feel like I'm doing a podcast with Paul here.
Honestly, he's been murdered the last couple of weeks. Honestly.
Can I just say a wee thing about Toby Haynes?
Well, I'm just going to go into it.
Or have you got that?
So Toby Haynes done previous USS Callister, Demon 79. He's also directed the USS Callister Into Infinity episode, which is an upcoming episode. He also directed 5 episodes of Doctor Who and one episode of Sherlock. But I'm sure you're going to go into more detail here, Colin.
Yeah, I just need to get my Star Wars reference in. So he directed 6 episodes of Andor season 1.
There you go.
So he's obviously of good stock.
All right.
Which also explains one of the cast members in this episode, which we'll get into.
Okay. All right, good.
I knew I recognised his name when it came up in the IMDb.
I recognised the name as well, just to Doctor Who. Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh, aye. And USS Callister being one of my favourite episodes of Black Mirror, so it was...
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching the follow-up to that later in this series.
The stars of the episode, I only wrote 3 down, mate, really, to be honest with you, but there's a lot more in it. With Sienna Kelly, Rose McEwen, and Michael Workeye.
That's a great name, isn't it?
I know. I was like, am I writing this down?
He's got an eye for detail.
So those are the three that I've wrote down. But certainly there's a lot more in the actual episode, but it's kind of centralised through really two people with a third kind of lingering, arguably a fourth as well.
Can I just pick one more name out?
Yeah.
So Ben Bailey Smith, who's Gabe,
Yep.
the boss. So he's in Andor season 1, maybe 2 as well. So I think that's maybe the link with Haynes.
Right.
Which would explain that. And he's also really well known for another role, if you can remember it.
Yeah, I recognise the guy.
Do you not know?
I'm not sure.
He's the guy that the in-betweeners accuse of being a drug dealer in the club.
That's not what I thought of. No.
Do you know the guy I mean, though?
No, can't remember.
Do you know?
I can't. Is it a film?
No, it's the episode when I think it's when Simon starts dating Tara, and they start accusing him of being a drug dealer, and he's basically saying, are they accusing him of being a drug dealer because of the color of his skin?
All right.
And he's like, you disrespect me. If you watch the episode, you probably recall it.
I've seen him years and years ago, mate. Do you know what I mean? But I've not went back and watched him for a long time.
Well, when I seen him in Andor, I clocked him right away as the guy from the In-Betweeners.
Right. Okay.
Which was a weird mix.
So, now it would have been good for me to actually do this and wrote it down in the order of the days. I didn't, so I'm just going to try to remember the days. So we start off on Monday, and the kind of starts off with Maria and a boyfriend. Is it Kay? Is that his name?
I think so. Yeah, Kay. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was his name. And basically, what she's kind of the kind of like a chocolate that he's made, or she's made rather, and she's getting him to taste it and stuff like that. It was called kind of, was it called miso? Something was called miso. Something
Yeah,
I can't
think so, yeah.
He was basically saying it was it's quite good and whatever. Do you know what I mean? So, which is quite interesting because later on we find out maybe it's not so good. But so it's miso jam, wasn't it? It was jam. It was eating. She was eating. Aye, I remember now. So she's getting prepared for the day because it's a focus group, and they go in to taste it to make sure if it's going to be kind of good enough for the actual production line. So it starts off quite a I don't know. What do you think of how it started off?
I think it gets into it right away. Like, it doesn't really waste a lot of time getting right into the focus group, which introduces like the central premise for the film. It depends how you're wanting to approach this. Are we going through it as it was presented, or because I rewatched it and I noticed so many things whenever you watched it. I'm not quite sure what way you're wanting to take it.
I was just going to go through it as it was presented to us.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I feel like it does get into it right away. There's also, we'll explain this when we get to this bit, but there's a wee bit of news at the very start, even before Maria and Kay start talking. There's a wee snippet of a news story, which actually becomes relevant later on.
I couldn't see the news story. I seen it in the background. It was BBC News. It was, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't what you could see. It's just what you heard, the audio.
Right.
I'll explain it when it becomes relevant.
Right. Okay. So basically, the miso jam, they got a focus group. It's quite quickly. It happens quite quick. You see obviously the focus group being in the actual. They make a wee joke and things like that about somebody looking like. What does he look like again? Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow. He actually did. To be fair,
I did. Jack Sparrow.
There's my Harry Potter reference because he's Grindelwald.
I think obviously Maria, who's sitting behind the screen, who obviously they can't see her because she's obviously like behind the screen or whatever. I found this interesting as well on the rewatch. I watched it twice, like you, mate, and like she was like asking for coffees and stuff like that as well. It's like, and it was like, oh, can you get me a cappuccino or a mocha? It was like a latte, and the look that the person gave as well was just like, these things aren't easy to make. Do you know what I mean? Which kind of hints to her kind of self-importance as well, which I found quite interesting.
Maria's, in some senses, you feel sorry for her with what happens as the episode goes on, but she does have that bit of an ego and isn't maybe the most likable protagonist we've seen.
No, I think you're right. So the group can undertake the tasting, and well, before that, I should say that Verity, who is the other person in this storyline, enters quite late, and initially her name's not on the list. Oh, you're not on the list, and then she's like, okay, can you check again, blah blah blah, and she is on the list, and instantly Maria knows who she is. She's an old kind of, I wouldn't say schoolmate as such, but there's somebody who she went to school with, and they go into the challenge. They don't challenge the tasting. They instantly don't like it. It's like it was revolting. Some of the words were said. It was disgusting, whatever. But then Verity says, "Okay, I want to try it again." And then Verity tries it again, and then she's basically saying, "Oh, the second time, it's much better the second time." Blah blah blah. And they all take a shot at it. I'll eat it again, and lo and behold, it's all kind of it's good. You know, how something can go from revolting to tasting good, I don't know.
I kind of get it. Like, it's a bit like, you know, when you get like an aftertaste when you eat something.
Aye.
So I can kind of get that, but also taking out the actual kind of the real reasoning behind what happened. There is that thing, and there is that kind of group think, isn't there, just in life, where if other people are saying they like something, it can kind of colour your opinions a wee bit.
Aye, I think it can. If it was maybe a kind of not blind as such, but if you just wrote down your opinion on a bit of paper and then handed it in, it might be a wee bit more kind of reliable that way. But on second watch though, I seen this one again, and I just looked out for the moments where Verity could change things, and that was one of the moments because you could see it happening.
I thought we weren't talking about things right now.
All right, okay. Well, let's not then. Let's not then.
No, it's just because I had some things from the first scene I wanted to mention. So
Go for it. I'll just go for it then, because then we have to go back and date all. So
you don't realize it at the time, but they proper zone in on the hat, don't they? In the very first scene.
Mm.
And obviously you don't know it's important until you know it's important, and it clearly says, well, it might depend on who you are and what country you're in, because Netflix did release different versions of this episode where sometimes it said Barney's and sometimes it said Bernie's, hence our screen names. But I think on mine it said Barney's at the start.
Mine said Barney's as well, I think.
Yeah. So, the other thing I noticed was the bit of news, the audio from the news. It was talking about a woman that had committed suicide, and that was
Natalie.
You don't. That's it's Maria's friend who was also harassed by Verity. So that was. I'm really glad I rewatched this episode because I think you do catch a lot more in second viewing.
Aye. So I did notice that they focused on the hat. It was just kind of to the side. It was just, and then there was two kind of glaring shots at it. But obviously, to us, it's just a prop in the screen. We're focusing on the actual characters talking and how they're actually, their mannerisms and whatever.
When you do rewatch it, though, it's amazing how much it proper zones in on it. Like, I didn't even notice it the first time round.
She does kind of like point towards it or touch it with her, and he puts it down. But that's, for us, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Really, it does focus on it because of the Barneys and Bernies. So, aye, I was just saying there. Basically, the tasting, it seems to go well because of Verity's kind of, I don't know, interjection of how good it is. But then later on, during, like, obviously just after the tasting, she meets her in the toilet, and then they go, "Oh, you're at school together, blah blah, and things. Where do you work? I work here." And then she says, "Oh, I'm going to apply for the job at the company. I hope you don't kind of mind about that." And she's like, "What job? There's no job here." I said, "Aye, there is." And then that kind of starts to cast a wee bit of doubt. Why was she not informed about a job type thing? She then goes to Gabe, and basically he says, "It was up a few days ago." It's kind of starts to kind of blur reality for a little bit. I think she doesn't, because she seems to be quite important in her job. You think, why hasn't she been told about this? Even though she did say as well that there was a post that it was filled maybe a couple of months ago. So I don't know, what was your whole take in the whole tasting to the bathroom meeting and then the job thing?
I think it's a good premise because right away you know there's some kind of history between the two characters. And then Rosie McEwen, that plays Verity, she's really good at making kind of unnerving you, isn't you? Just with like her facial expressions, and there's that scene where she winks as well, which is like you can understand why Maria was so infuriated. But it was an interesting episode because you don't really think a lot about it. Like, I thought it was just she was quite influential and could like change people's opinions when it came to the job. I thought that Maria was just out of the loop and didn't realise. Obviously, it isn't until you realise what Verity can actually do that you realise that these things are important. I don't think the job was put on multiple days ago. Obviously, I think as soon as Verity said that there's a job, that's obviously just changed the reality for Gabe as well, hasn't it? And he's then now like, yeah, the job's been on for multiple days.
Aye.
That's the way I looked at it anyway.
Aye, so she just altered reality at that point in time. So I just think you did get the kind of the perception of importance is starting to change here a wee bit for her as well. So that was interesting. Kind of later on that night, still Monday, she was back to her kind of boyfriend and basically saying that she's kind of, working, potentially going to be working with this Verity person who's, she talks about a lot as well about how she was a kind of a geek, kind of like all about computers and stuff like that. I mean,
that must have been a real blow to you.
Not at all, mate.
She comes across as a bully right away, I think, in that scene.
Who, Maria?
Yeah.
Aye. It's because a boyfriend is basically just kind of he's like it's just somebody coming about a job. Do you know what I mean? Why you feel threatened type of thing? Do you know what I mean? But I think it's more like she's fear. Do you know what I mean? She's I don't know. I don't know at that point in time she's kind of scared of the whole kind of getting replaced, like because she is the top dog in that place.
She seems quite insecure.
Aye.
The boyfriend, Kay, was an interesting one because I felt like he changed quite a lot throughout the episode. I thought he went from being quite laughy and jokey and supportive to very just quite harsh with Maria and very just like on Verity's side. It makes me wonder whether Verity's also influences his behavior, even though they don't have any direct
Contact.
they don't meet in the episode, for example.
But I think all she did was alter Maria's reality, and because she was getting probably more and more paranoid as it went on, it started to kind of see him reacting differently. Do you know what I mean? So I was supportive at the start, and gradually you maybe see it kind of deteriorating a wee bit.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't think it altered his. I think it just the perception of her changed him. Because she spoke about how, like, the in school there was rumours flying about and all that sort of thing to him, and he's like, "Oh, kids can be cruel or kids can be nasty." I can't remember the exact phrase that he used, but it's something that gets used throughout. It kind of leads to the bullying aspect. So she's kind of bullied, being a bully, kind of all her days. It seems anyway, just to be popular, to tip it in.
She lies as well, because she makes it out like she wasn't the origin point of the rumor.
She does lie.
And my cat's scratching a scratching pole. This has been some set up today.
Aye. She has been like, but she doesn't want to be made the bad person, though. Do you know what I mean? So she's in a way she's altering the reality of everybody else as well to make her look good. Do you know what I mean? When she's not, but obviously she's trying to obviously forget that. But anyway, so. But I think her boyfriend as well, by the way, I think he is kind of laid back at the start. He's got the VR headset on, he's kind of chilling out and all that. He's not really
proper gamer. He's a proper gamer, isn't he?
Aye. But aye, I think it does change, I think. Next day, Tuesday. Oh, by the way, what did you make of the kind of transition moments as well? Because we get the days kind of right in our face with the music as well.
I think it builds a bit of suspense, and I suppose it is a wee bit different than what you get in other episodes. It kind of reminded me in like a weird way of The Shining for some reason.
Aye, I get that,
but I don't know how much I liked it. I kind of get why it's there. It's to show like how quickly Verity's broken Maria.
Aye.
But the actual images were quite random, weren't they? They were just like chocolate getting cut. I suppose that links into her job.
Aye.
So on reflection, I understand it more. But I think the first time I watched it, I thought they were just a bit jarring. It was a bit just like random. And like there's that weird music tone every time. I
thought it's kind of building suspense. Like Monday, Tuesday to Friday, whatever. There's an end point here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think as it went on as well, the music got maybe a wee bit louder.
It's the ticking clock, isn't it?
Yep. So on Tuesday morning, Verity's basically applied for the job. She's basically in the office, and she's kind of got the job already. Much to Maria's dismay, is like, doing any kind of background checks or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, just interview one person and she gets a job. How is that? Like, something's not quite right.
Got a wee bit of trivia just on her application. She mentions is it Wayhaven Traveller or something like that?
Yep.
So that's apparently, I've not seen this episode in quite a long time, but it's referenced in Shut Up and Dance.
Look at the episode, that.
There's another reference to Shut Up and Dance, which is also the Barney's chain, because apparently that's where Kenny, the main character, worked in that episode.
Barney's.
Yeah.
Or Barney's. Aye.
I like that Black Mirror has all these wee Easter eggs though, because if I ever went back and did a full rewatch, you would catch a lot of stuff.
Oh, it's brilliant. I love it. And I don't know about you, mate, but I find myself kind of try my best to be glued to the screen to try and watch it, to try and see the smallest wee minuscule thing. But aye.
More so since we started reviewing the episodes than if we weren't.
Aye, so she gets a job, Verity, and basically right away she gets a wee desk to herself. But as the kind of day goes on, there's the first sign of I don't know, reality changing, gaslighting, call it what you will. So basically, they talk about the fast food chain, Barney's Chicken Bucket. But everybody's kind of got like talk about it. But Maria's working at the time, and she just kind of overhears the conversation, and basically says, "Don't you mean Bernie's?" And they're all going, "No, it's definitely Barney's." Blah blah. They talk about the music, the logos and stuff like that. He's like, "Well, why don't you just Google it?" Do you know what I mean? As everything, if you're unsure, why don't you just Google it? And she goes and Googles it, and what comes up on the screen?
Barney's.
Barney's.
Oh, again, depends which version you're watching.
Aye. So I quite like that idea. So he obviously he got. I do like this character. He was quite funny. He's like, "Oh, the internet's wrong again. The internet's wrong. Oh, blah blah." And
that's Nick, wasn't it?
Aye. He talks about the Mandela Effect, which is like the misremembering things, which is constantly like there's hundreds of stuff. I mean, we've spoken this before as well, haven't we? Mandela Effect.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, some point, yeah.
We spoke about it during Jaws, I'm sure. There's a Mandela Effect in that.
A couple of things I'd just like to touch on with this bit. It obviously shows and I include myself in that, the over-reliance we have on Googling things, particularly in the age of AI, where the first message that comes up on your search is an AI entry. So I think it just highlighted the worldwide obsession with just searching stuff up on the internet and just taking it as gospel, which I'm sure we do when we're planning our episodes as well. Secondly, I think when you don't know what's going on, you can be forgiven for thinking that Maria's just losing it a bit and that she is wrong and that the seeing Verity again is having like a kind of impact on her. So it's interesting that it can be viewed in kind of one or two ways.
Exactly. Because you start talking about it, well, all them can't be wrong, can they? In one person. Then she starts talking about a boyfriend, but there. So she should know what it is. So
do you think he worked with Kenny?
He might have done. I wonder if he knew him. So
imagine he went back and he was in that episode.
Oh, interesting. That would be cool. So it kind of cast out who to believe, doesn't it? Like, because you would go with majority usually, because they all can't be wrong. And then we see Google, and Google can't be wrong. I mean, surely, Google can't be wrong. AI can't be wrong, but actually, AI is wrong a lot of the time. That is just guesswork, as I said before.
Well, I was reading a football article, and I won't name the site, but it was talking about Rangers summer recruitment, and it says, Philippe Clement's been strengthening his forward line. I was like, how bad a typo is that?
Oh, a reliable source. So, can I move on a wee bit? If I missed something out, mate, just come back and tell me. But I did again realise during the Bernie's the incident that Verity was, also touching her pendant as well. You could see it happening, and the reality was changing there and then. So, again, quite interesting to watch it again, just to see it happen.
You always, when you're watching it back, she always says something that kind of signifies it. Like when she says, obviously, like, "Oh, it is Bernie's," then that's the point where everyone's kind of mindset changes, and it is amazing how you don't notice a lot of these things on the first watch through.
Aye. So basically the owner of the chocolate or candy factory is coming in, basically. Candy factory. Willy Wonka. There you go.
Is it Delta?
Dillas, I think it is. Yeah, I should really wrote that down. basically the owner's coming in, and Maria wants to kind of make something new for him, but it's got to be plant-based. So she gives Verity a list of ingredients to write down, so she can pass to the chef to cook it all, because of the guy is he can't eat any meat, can he? So I think he's Hindi or something like that.
Yeah.
So he's got he's got dietary requirements to adhere. So she it's marshmallow candy she wants to to make for him.
It's actually mallow.
Is it mallow? Mallow?
Because I didn't actually know until I watched this episode that marshmallow was like mallow was like its own thing.
Right, aye. I know vegetarians can't eat like kind of jelly sweets or anything because obviously it comes from bone, doesn't it? So mallow style candy is what it is, not marshmallow. There you go. But she gives a list to Verity. Make sure she writes it down. But it's a word she can't spell. Carrageenan. So it's basically it's plant based. Can't spell it. And she said, "Well, I'm just sending an email to you, and then you can have it there, right?" So she sends the email. We see it.
Let's
see the email getting sent. Next day, the guy comes in. Interestingly, that when Gabe introduced Maria to the owner, he called her Bête Noire. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice that actually.
No, he did. Aye. So he enjoys it. He loves the mallow style candy, and basically says that they're going to get flown out to, I don't know, can't remember what it is they're going to get flown out to now actually. But basically, he asked what was in it, and she rhymed off all the ingredients. But the chef in the background is like, "Don't ask me what's in it." We can see it. We can see her behind him, and it's basically, no, that's not it. So right away, I knew right away that she done that on purpose.
I guess see when you're watching her type the email, you're not aware at that point how important it is. So it had me as a viewer doubting whether Maria had typed that, because I remembered her saying it, but it wasn't until I watched her typing the email back you realise that she did put in that level of detail, because she does a spell check on the word, which is the evidence, but it does have you kind of doubting things as you go along.
Yeah, the spell check the word. What do you mean? And then, we all do that. So basically, Gabe brings it to the office. Basically, on like you can't be having that. Like, basically saying that she sent an email to Verity and we passed on the wrong ingredients, blah blah. As they're sitting beside each other, talking to Gabe, Verity's again attendant, like out at me, and like you're raising your voice, and we could hear it, we could see it. She's no shouting, she's not raising her voice. But even Gabe is like, "You're raising your voice," so she's altering reality again, there and then.
But that's also a thing sometimes where if someone is really hyped up about something, they don't realise that they're raising their voice. But on this occasion, we can see that she isn't.
You can see that. We're say look in, we can see it. So she goes, "Well, just check the emails then, blah blah," and then goes and checks the email, and the message states non-pork gelatin. So, but she knows she never wrote that. So she knows something's no real, something's no right here, and she thinks that Verity is at the bottom of it. See when it came up the email, did you think? Because also it's a contrast, isn't it? Because we've seen the email getting sent, and we see it actually after it's sent. Do you think that was maybe to play on us as well, to kind of like, because in a way, it's gaslighting Maria, but it's also kind of gaslighting us as well, because we are seeing it from 2 different perspectives. We don't really know which one's right.
I think it's checking how much you're paying attention, because when I first watched the episode, you didn't know what the end game was and what the big twist was going to be.
Aye.
But when you do watch it the second time, you're scanning, as you said earlier, for every single little detail. I think this episode was probably designed to be a one you watch more than once.
Aye, like I say, I'm glad I did.
See, if I hadn't watched it a second time, I would I would not have enough understanding of the episode, but B, I'd probably have quite a different perception on the episode as well, which I think is a credit to what Black Mirror does. It does get you thinking and reflecting and viewing things from different angles.
Aye, definitely. Right, so later that night, she sends. Well, I think she sent the text to Natalie before now. Actually, come to think of it, but later that night, she gets a text from Natalie's husband. Basically, tells her that she's committed suicide. So she can't believe it. Like, she phones him. So now there's all sorts of rings here.
Yeah.
But she phones the guy, and we obviously hear the conversation. But when I watched that, even for the first time as well, she basically interrogates him.
I know.
Like, it's like, and you can see a boyfriend in the background going, like, what are you doing, man? Do you know what I mean? Like, the guy's just, he lost his wife or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's why are you doing this road? But it's basically the paranoia that she's feeling and going through now is obviously something that she's wanting to get to the bottom of. Was Verity the problem here? But it was just also, wasn't it?
The husband does get very defensive, but you can understand why in the scenario.
So, that was when he does tell her that she had some kind of breakdown, didn't he? Which is kind of reflecting on what kind of what she does. Well, she's having this breakdown as well, but the cause of it is unknown to him.
Mm-hmm.
But we can probably make an assumption that it was probably Verity as well, but we don't know. But that was bizarre. That was bad on her part, but it probably shows how desperate she was, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, to get to the bottom of it all.
I think in the first maybe half of the episode, Verity does play off quite a bit of innocence. Like, you can understand why people think Maria's the one in the wrong up to a certain point. It isn't until like the scene in the office where she misses the meeting. That's when Verity just throws away all pretense and just starts being like a supervillain.
Aye. And that's what we'll come on to now then. So, this is a Friday. And Maria walks into the office. Verity comes round and basically says, did you skip the 8 o'clock meeting? She's oblivious to what meeting, like, what are you talking about? Oh, you get an email. And basically says, maybe in my junk.
Because she's not trusting email anymore at that point.
Aye. So it's totally like no trust in that. No kind of to the point of like even looking at it, do you know what I mean? Like, she'd just done it for work. If she's been told, she'll be been told to her face, do you know what I mean? But we kind of get
I'd like to apologise to our listeners. I think someone's been cutting the grass nearby. I'm absolutely loaded of hay fever I was in. But we battle on.
I need enough shit myself there.
I think people need to adjust their audio
there. So we kind of get not a heart to heart as such, but they kind of talk about their obviously the previous being in school together, talk about the rumours that happened and whatever. Maria says it was Natalie. The rumour again saying that kids can be cruel, but it kind of looked like they reconsidered a wee bit. But then Verity can run from behind the desk opens the fridge, takes out the almond milk, which I need to emphasise because this almond milk's important because there's a person in the office who complains constantly that the milk has been taken.
On first viewing, that person was irritating me, I'm not going to lie.
But it made it's important to this degree, isn't it? I mean, like, they made this scene kind of pop more. And she drinks the milk for the carton, and it just looks at Maria while the milk is being drank, the sweet's coming down the side and down her chin and all that. But I found it actually quite, like you say, she's a villain, but quite chilling.
Unnerving is the word, yeah.
It was totally.
This brand, I read this in the trivia section. The specific brand of the organic milk was drunk by Robert Daly and USS Callister.
Good. I remember he drank milk. I don't know what was that one. It's good.
Now that person was. You understand it in retrospect that they were setting this up, but see, when you didn't know that, I was just like, she's so annoying, man.
Aye.
She's still annoying, but it still makes sense.
You can see the milk still on her face though, and the way she wipes it off as well. It's like totally unnerving. Like it's like stare as well.
The wink that comes later to me is the worst thing she does, because see, if somebody winks at you like that when you're already really annoyed at them about something, that you can understand why it tipped Maria over the edge.
Aye, totally.
It's like when Ronaldo winked when Rooney was sent off, remember?
Aye. So, the last day came round, he's like, who drank my almond milk? Blah, blah. But Maria's the only one standing at the fridge, and everybody else is in the meeting. So, logic's dictating here that Maria's the one who drank it, and it was lying on the floor as well, do you know what I mean? And basically, they're all looking at Maria like, you're the one who drank it, just, you know what I mean, blah, blah. And then instantly blames Verity. Oh, it was you, not was you, not was you. But then she says something quite important, that she's got an allergy, a nut allergy. She can't drink it.
What's that?
She had a nut allergy. Oh, yeah,
You fell for it like I fell for the shrinking joke.
You were waiting for that, weren't you?
No, it just came to
me. So, but interestingly enough, though, at this point in time, nobody reacted to that whole nut allergy thing. No one questioned it there. She said it, but no one questioned it there.
That's because it's not a real thing.
But it didn't say, what is it? Do you know what I mean? What do you mean? It wasn't until Gabe said, look, we'll just check the CCTV then. And then I thought, yes. Verity did look worried, though, at that point in time, which made us think, oh, what's going to happen here? They get into the CCTV room, look at the monitor, and then basically you've seen that, well, Maria takes the almond milk and started drinking it. He's like, oh my God, how can that be? Like, I've got a nut allergy. How can I do it? And a nut allergy? What's that? I've never heard of that before. I'm allergic to nuts. Don't know what it is.
Someone's like, no, they like join the words together. It's like nutallergy.
They're saying nutallergy. What's that? I knew it.
It kind of makes you thinking about like AI videos, doesn't it? And like deep fakes.
Aye.
How they've made it look like she did it.
I know. Definitely, mate. And I knew right away when it went to go, it would say, did you mean? Like, as if it was never, it was a word to me, it was never a phrase.
It's always exciting to see what kind of technology Black Mirror is going to focus on, because there's been a few episodes where it's not particularly new technology. There was like the first episode of Black Mirror, the one with the pig. It's just about the media, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So it's always interesting to see how it comes in.
So Maria's pretty much she's sacked basically. She's let go, told to take a break, whatever. Which I found a bit interesting here because he did say, Gabe alluded to the fact that she was having mental health issues.
Yeah.
She'd be gone. I'm like, well, in this day and age, I don't think that would be right. Do you know what I mean? You can't let somebody go because they've got mental health issues. Do you know what I mean? You've got to address that. You've got to give them counselling and all that. You've got to go through procedure. But was that just because Verity was changing reality that this had to happen?
I think so.
Would that have happened if it wasn't for that?
Probably not in the real world.
You wouldn't think so. Aye,
but even like, do you know how she's not really listening to him, and then she tells him where to go. You hear him saying like, "Oh, we'll figure out what this nut allergy is," and things like that.
I know, but clearly Maria's annoyed, right? So to the extent where she kind of follows Verity home, and you can see that the house that she lives in is like a mansion. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It is something like you wouldn't expect. I don't think you'd expect MD who lived in a house to be working. I mean, like retired or something like that. But she lived in a fancy mansion. It was gated a lot, and she follows her into the house. Sorry, but walking past the hallway with loads of servers and hard drives and things. Do you notice that?
You'd like that bit, yeah.
It was impressive. Yep. Goes into Verity's bedroom. She's away for a shower and finds a bunch of kind of memorabilia as such. There is pictures of Verity on Vogue. There is a picture of Harry Styles. She's also an astronaut and an Olympic athlete. And also one as well where she's got like a picture of like like a queen kind of goddess type thing with people to the side there, which is important later on.
I can picture Homer Simpson having a similar shelf with his astronaut and all his various jobs over the years.
Boxing gloves.
Yeah.
So Maria knows this pendant is the issue here. That this pendant that she touches does something. So she's there to find it. She finds it and then hides under the bed. Verity comes out the shower, sees that Maria's out underneath the bed because Maria tries to actually activate the pendant because it's biometric security. It only activates through finger ID.
How did she know? How did she know she was there?
Because she tries to activate the pendant again under the bed. When it doesn't activate, it goes red, but it makes a noise as well. So Verity won't know what noise that makes. I think she likes it a gasp as well. So that's why she knows somewhere.
Right.
What else? She asked her to come out of the bed. Come out from underneath the bed. Knows it's her. And basically says she's going to film the police on her. Maria wants to know exactly what's happening. So she said, I quoted this down. Technically, it's not really changing anything. It just retunes our couple frequency to one of the prior realities, whatever I've said has and always been true. She uses quantum computers to do that.
What did you make of the tech in this one? Because, like, you'll probably know more about quantum computers than I can, but it felt, even by Black Mirror standards, it felt just a wee bit far-fetched what the tech could do.
Aye, I mean, the use of quantum computers, mate, is basically trying to get every single kind of possibility out there. Do you know what I mean? So she's using all these quantum computers to have any possible possibility. So I don't know, mate. You do anything about quantum computers? No.
I've heard of them. I've seen them I've seen the quantum realm in Ant-Man.
Aye. Well, aye. In basic terms, mate, all I'll say is to you is that
I know they've got a lot of like really high big processing powers and things like that. So
aye. Basically, to put it in simplest terms for you, mate, a normal computer has two states, 1 and 0, right?
Yep.
On or off. Where a quantum computer can have many states. So in words, it to be on and off at the same time, reflecting on many possibilities. So that's what that is, in the very simplest of terms, mate.
So that answers the question though. What did you make of what it could do? Did you think, did it work for you, or did you think it was just a wee bit too pie in the sky?
I think it was a bit far-fetched, mate, to be honest with you, but
Yeah.
that's what you expect from Black Mirror, don't you?
I don't know. I feel like some of the other technologies, like the one in the last episode, Common People, I felt like it was a wee bit more, because we talked about it in that episode. You felt like this is something that could actually happen. This one I didn't feel like that with.
Oh, well, absolutely. Do you know what I mean? But
But it's more maybe symbolic of like the Mandela Effect and different. Maybe the focus is more on like the different perspectives that people have and the fact that sometimes we misremember things rather than the technology itself.
well, I think that's important because the technology, like you say, the Common People one for the last episode, there will be websites like that exist. Do you know what I mean? Like the Dumb Dummies website, for example. But I don't think the whole Common People one with the app and changing all that's again, technology is a bit of a sideshow in aspects. It's potentially what could happen.
Yeah.
Here, like I think the themes of this episode certainly are nothing to do with the quantum computers and how we alter reality. It's about how people can misremember, but the whole idea of gaslighting as well, how this happens on a daily basis. Do you know what I mean? People gaslight people all the time. I think that's probably the most important part of it, personally speaking. And the altering reality was just a way of getting revenge on her for what she'd done at school.
Yep.
Things take a bit of a twist here, mate, to be honest with you. There's what happens here? Talk about how, it was a kind of try to get her own back, you know what I mean? Revenge on Maria because she hurt her back in the day in school, spread the rumours and all that sort of thing. We then get the comparison to Natalie and Maria, how that, Natalie, did you say how long it took? Was it 5 weeks or something like that?
It was a number of weeks anyway, whereas
I think
Maria was just like 5 days or something.
5 days versus 5 weeks versus 5 days. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's what it was. And then basically there's a wee skirmish. Verity tries. What I did find interesting, she actually altered reality in front of her as well. Like she changed the colour of t-shirt she was wearing, changed the language she was speaking.
Yeah.
Brought it back as well. It changed the setting. So it's changed from the house to the office and brought it back again. So she could see it happen all around her. Even though she's seen it before then, but now she's actually seen it happen because she can see it from Verity and she's telling her what's happening.
It just goes to show how much childhood bullying can influence people, because she's got, as mentioned in the episode, she's got like unlimited powers. But instead of just chilling out and being the empress of the world, she decides to get her revenge on these girls from school. So it just shows the deep-rooted impact these things can have.
Well, it's almost as like she's bored. Do you know what I mean? Like she's done all of that, but now she wants to get her own back on these people. So, and that's our way of enjoying it, I suppose. Seeing other people's lives kind of crumble before her. So I was saying, there's a skirmish that happens, a fight. She Verity, uses a pendant to get the armed police in.
She basically uses a Jedi mind trick on them, doesn't she?
Maria basically takes the gun from the police and shoots Verity's face pretty much off, which is a wee scene you've seen there, like the face come apart and whatever.
It was quite a sudden ending to her character, wasn't it?
It was quite sudden, aye. again, it goes quite quickly here. Do you mean we get the shoot off between her and the police as well, which is bizarre. Do you know, never used a gun before, but first time she used a gun, shoots very right in the face. We get a shoot with the police. Then she knows she has to get the pendant. She knows that she's got to get her finger ID to get the pendant to work for Maria. If she does that, and then basically convinces the police to Jedi mind tricks, you say, to say that that she works for her now. All reality is back to normal to a degree at that point in time, and then says that you will worship her and all the rest of it. It then takes a stupid twist to she wants to be the Empress of Universe, and there's like loads of followers. There's the two idiots standing beside her.
I thought it was quite funny when the policeman became like the followers.
Aye, I know. And then it's like all hail. Do you know what I mean? Queen Empress of the Universe. Kind of like a kind of godlike kind of fantasy stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like what is going on there? And then the camera pans out, and that's the end of it, man. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
What was your take, mate, for that scene to the end scene? Like,
I think the last 15 minutes, like when they're at the house, although it ultimately explained what happened, it was probably like my least favourite parts of the episode, to be honest.
yes.
I just thought it was a wee bit too much. A wee bit too wacky.
It was, I mean, I think it could have went a different direction. I think it could have went like just see the dimension, like the reality of Maria going back to the office and things changing there. Or I don't know what I'm expecting. I just wasn't expecting that. It was so strange. That last, I would go as far to say the last 5 minutes. The house altercation was fine. I don't mind that. The explanation why, we kind of knew that already. But I just think the last 5 minutes of that episode ruined it. Completely.
Like if you compare the ending of this to the episode of Common People, which had a really different vibe, that episode, but it had a really kind of poignant, like emotional ending.
Aye.
Whereas this one was just very sudden and a wee bit wacky.
I mean, Maria wanted to be the most important person. If she is the most important person, her self-importance was relevant throughout the whole show. Do you know what I mean? From the Facebook pictures or whatever it was, to the school days, to her being in the office, to her now superseding Verity to be that person, and she can do it if she wants now.
Makes you wonder, is she going to go back to her job? Will she go back to her boyfriend, or is she just going to chill out and be Empress now?
No, I don't know.
Maybe there'll be a sequel.
I hope not. Right, okay, mate. So that was the. Is there anything you want to add before we go into scores?
I'll just check my trivia because I did look up a fair bit. I've talked about quite a few of them as we went on, but I'll just see if there's anything else here. The original title for the episode was Ring of Truth, which sounds like a Lord of the Rings spin-off, doesn't it? Because it was going to be a ring rather than a kind of pendant. See what else there is. Talked about Kenny. There's a building nearby. It's called like Gemini something, and it's a reference to the spacecraft from Beyond the Sea. Remember the episode with Jesse from Breaking Bad?
Aye.
Also, there's a billboard that links to the makers of the Bandersnatch game. All kind of like within this same area, and that was the extra ones. I've talked about quite a few of the other ones just as we went through the episode.
Good man. So that was the Black Mirror Bête Noire episode then. So Seismic Stars. This episode, what do you want to give it?
It's funny because this episode's all about like the way you view things and like your memory of things. And when I first watched it, like I really, really thought it was pretty rubbish, to be honest. So if I was giving it a score on the first viewing, I'd probably put it as low as like maybe 4, to be honest.
Okay.
But I did watch it a second time. The second time, you obviously know what to look out for, and when you watch it through that lens and you watch Verity closely, and you notice the impact she's having throughout the episode, it totally changes. I think. I still think the ending and the bit with the Empress is all just a bit bizarre, and I thought it maybe didn't end that strongly. But I think there is a lot of good stuff in terms of like how they show the changes through like the email and through the name of the restaurant, and I think Verity gives a really chilling performance throughout it as well. So on balance, I think I'm going to give it a 6 because I think it did improve on second viewing, which I think was probably by design, but it definitely wasn't my favourite Black Mirror episode. And I don't think it was. I don't think it was near the quality of Common People, which came before it.
Nah, nowhere near Common People. Not at all. On first viewing, I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Oh, you were kinder than me then.
Was kinder than you, and on second viewing, I gave it a 6 out of 10. Nothing changed for me. I like the idea of, the Mandela Effect. I like the idea of someone potentially not like gaslighting, do you know what I mean? But it's just that way of seeing it, and then like Verity being able to manipulate in a way, do you know what I mean? And seeing it for a different perspective. That was all good, really good ideas. Like I say, I thought the two actresses in it, Maria and Betty, were good.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the paranoia creeping in, and you can see the kind of, as time progressed, you can see the mask slipping for Verity as well, because she had to reveal herself basically to her. And like you, and like my first viewing, the Empress of the Universe at the end really annoyed me. It really annoyed me. The ending didn't match the actual rest of the show. Do you know what I mean? It just seemed like a puzzle piece put in the wrong place. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no,
Yeah. I think with the structure of the days, you're expecting a big conclusion, which I don't think really came. I think the stronger parts in the episode were the build up.
Aye. And as soon as the Verity basically told her, why she did it all and get shot in the face like that, which like I do like a graphic bit of violence, to be fair. But I just don't. I wanted to see more at the end of that. It happened so quickly. And the whole scene with the place, and like I say, the Empress Universe stuff, I find it embarrassing. Like I'm actually embarrassed for Black Mirror to come up with that. In every episode, like Black Mirror episodes are no hit and miss. No, like you said, like hitting inside number 9s like that. Black Mirror episodes are basically, I would say, 95% of the episodes are quality.
I would disagree with that.
Right. And I don't know, this one felt way below par of the worst episodes I've seen. Way below it.
I still like it better than any episode from that season that Miley Cyrus was in.
Aye.
I like it better than any of those episodes, if I'm honest. There's a few episodes over the years I just didn't care for. I didn't like the one, the black and white one.
That was good.
I didn't like that, and I didn't really like the playtest one either.
What?
No, it's all
That's
good.
that one. That's one with Kurt Russell's son, Wyatt Russell.
I know. I've watched it more than once, and it just didn't click with me. But there's loads of episodes I really did enjoy. But I think Black Mirror, Light Inside number 9. I think you don't need to watch them in order. You can just have your own wee favourites,
Yeah. But obviously, 6 out of 10 is probably a bit I don't know, graceful. I should probably get a lower than that. But it just felt short. What I expected to the end of it. Just ruined a good premise. It ruined a good premise. So that's it. So 2 6s then. Okay.
Right. Interesting to see the next episode. So in 2 weeks, is it Hotel Reverie?
I don't know. I'm not sure though.
I think it is. Yeah, that's the one I'll be doing. It's interesting because some of the episodes are like movie length, like an hour 20 minutes, whereas the first 2 have been kind of closer to 50 minutes. So it's just interesting. Like USS Callister one's like quite long, I think. I think it'll be you that does that one, which you'll be glad about.
Oh, is that good?
You'll be hosting that one because I looked at which ones I'm going to be hosting. So
see, I'm not prepared, mate. I'll just go.
No, it's just when I was selecting the episode, I just scrolled down just to see what was coming up. You know.
So that's the episode 2 of Black Mirror, season 7 done. Next week we'll be moving on to our film.
Just before you do that, James, we were thinking that maybe every second week either go through like a season of a show or do like the pilot reviews like we did Suits and Lost. But if there's any TV shows that you think we should do a season of or talk about the pilot of, we would love to hear any suggestions people have.
Yeah, I'll put that onto the socials as well to see what people come up with. It might be something that we've both not seen before, which would be interesting.
Yeah.
Right, so it's back to films next week, mate, and I've got 3 film summaries for you to guess what they are.
Okay.
Seen your face there. So
dying with hay fever here.
Right, I think they'll be easy enough for you. You'll get these, mate. I'm confident. Right. So, first one. Chicago male nurse and chronic underachiever meets his charming teacher girlfriend Pam, parents Jack and Dina before proposing, but suspicious Jack is an overprotective former CIA agent with every date's worst nightmare. So
Meet the Fockers.
Close.
Is it?
It's Meet the Parents, the first one.
All right, okay.
You seen that?
I might have seen it like years ago, but not in like recent years anyway.
Right, okay. Second one. So that was Meet the Parents. First one, the second one, sorry. A narcissistic weatherman, Phil Connors, who finds himself trapped reliving the same day in a small town over and over. At first reckless, he gradually learns selflessness, love, and personal growth as he tries to break the time loop.
Can you say it again?
You take the piss?
Yeah. Groundhog Day?
It is Groundhog Day.
I've seen that.
Oh, good.
I've seen that. I've seen that.
It's getting bored now. After being kicked out his rock band, Dewey Finn becomes a
School of Rock. Which is funny because I watched that like a few weeks ago actually randomly.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I think you did watch it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. You're right.
You certainly didn't tell me.
Did I not? I did watch it though.
Did you?
Yeah, it's on Now TV.
I'm just joking that you did.
You're just bending my reality here.
Oh, was I? Right, okay. So the 3 films next week for people to vote on are Meet the Parents, Groundhog Day, and School of Rock. So which one will win?
Different vibe this week.
Yep. So last bit of housekeeping then, folks. So you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Facebook. You can listen and watch us on YouTube and Spotify, but you can listen to us on Spotify for Creators, Good Pods, Apple Podcasts, Audible, Amazon Music, and Castbox. And that is all. That's all she wrote.
Also, we're getting quite close to 200 subscribers on YouTube. We're at 191. So If you enjoyed this episode and want to support the channel, then if you could hit the button, that'd be great.
Hit the button.
Hit the
Just
button.
punch it. Just
Yeah.
punch it. Right. Okay. Well, thanks for all, guys. Thanks for listening, watching, and things, folks. Okay. So, James, I've probably written an essay on it. Paul has watched Black Mirror in the completely wrong order, but it doesn't really matter anyway. And Colin,
I've probably not seen it.